Don't look at him. He does a very good job of not being like in your face.
Hi.
Hi.
Molly, this is Beth.
Well, Abby, welcome to my dining room.
I love it. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So why are we here today?
Well, my name is Abby Cunningham and I own Arose Interiors. I was working on a project, kind of went room to room, where we ended up in their master suite, which was just a very large, overwhelming space. So I reached out to you for a little bit of guidance, assistance, and a little bit of collab in the design world. And I want to thank you for jumping on board and helping me out.
Let's dive in.
Sounds great.
This space here, I think is a waste the way it is right now.
We had this extensive conversation about the project and what we're looking to do, and I said it's just underutilized space.
I mean, great ceiling space though. I mean, like you want something to be high and like light and bright.
There's so much potential, it's just not laid out in a convenient, useful way. You walk through that like sitting room.
Yeah.
The sitting room, you can do more than sit in there.
Yeah.
It was a huge space, totally underutilized.
I mean, there's a king bed, there's nightstands, and there's still tons of space on either side.
Absolutely.
And so really, I know we kind of talked about trying to configure that space where there is a sitting space within the bedroom so that then the area that is now wasted becomes storage, like you said.
For sure.
Yeah.
And one of the requests was really to be able to utilize the view out the back of the home. That's one space that is very private. And the way that the bedroom was currently laid out, their backs were to the windows. So I feel like we've come up with a really good solution for them and also provided them his and hers closet spaces.
Yeah. And when we moved in here, we had to like immediately put this wall in because this was completely
just open.
open.
And this is deep. I mean, I didn't expect it to go all the way back like it does. I just assumed this was like a linen closet. So there's a ton of space.
This was part of their reno. I almost didn't buy it. I was like, there's no door or lock.
And then what about the shower itself?
The most important thing to him is water pressure.
Water pressure, okay. You don't need any steam options or jets or anything like that. It's just a heated floor. We can do that.
So as with any project, it's super important to walk through the space with the client and kind of get their wish list items. And I love that you were able to do that with her because you have that existing relationship. And I could kind of take the back seat and evaluate the space while you talk to her. This bathroom is very interesting. I mean, it's actually funny. When I was on site, I thought there were more options until I got it into CAD and realized just quite how narrow and long the space is. But I was shocked that the toilet wasn't closed to start, like when they bought the house, when she explained that to me.
Surprise.
Yeah. Talk about zero privacy.
Yes.
We do have to have
The vanities.
the special, like the separate
Yep.
vanities, yeah, for
Yep.
sure.
I gotta figure out that toilet location. We might be able to shift this to be like bathroom, like vanities somehow. Really the only thing that usually concerns me, knowing that the garage is under here, is just where the toilet stack is. Sinks and everything you can move around, the drains, you can run new drains, like that's not a problem, it's just the stack. I'm wondering if this all became one big vanity and they still had separate zones, is that okay? Or does she actually want to stand alone? Because then the rest of the space could still be closet, like as you walk back.
Which ultimately isn't going to happen.
Again, on-site visionaries.
Yes.
On paper, a little more practical.
Absolutely. You know, walking through the space, we had these great intentions and great ideas. From a homeowner's perspective, though, in this particular case, they're not wanting to price themselves out of the neighborhood for future resale. So to your point, keeping certain plumbing lines and fixtures in their noted locations or similar locations, again, poses some challenges to keep costs down on a project of this size.
Yeah.
For the new space, obviously you have a lot to work with. Is it important that you two each have like separate closets? Can it be a shared closet space? Do you want an island? You know?
Doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter.
I mean, I don't see why we couldn't have this be one closet and then basically have this same size be another closet. Probably when this door is closed, this just oddly gets very cold because again, above the garage. You definitely have options, which is good.
Lots of options.
Yeah. I actually really like that closet space. It's just too small for two people. So we know that this existing closet is staying as an existing closet, but now it will just be his closet or her closet, not both. And then the other sitting area that was previously underutilized is now a new closet. We'll add a wall there and do built-ins around the whole room. So now they each have their own zones, their own space, and they can fight over it.
Who wouldn't want that?
Yeah.
There she goes.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's definitely, well,
There you
Oh,
go.
there's a light in there.
There is. If it makes sense, we could definitely do built-ins, like cut through this wall and use this space to build in drawers. I know why they did it because it's not super functional. Like for height wise, like I can't stand up, but for low storage, it would be perfect.
Wasn't sure if we got that footage.
We sure did. You got in there. Sometimes it's the unknown.
Yes.
That can actually be a solution.
Exploratory measures were
Yes.
taken. So that space is great because although it has the steep slope, as mentioned in the video, you can't stand, but recessing drawers and other kind of closet storage items in that space.
Yeah, utilizing a space that was otherwise unfinished.
Yeah.
So if this goes down to one closet for one person, for one of them, then this would be enough tall storage, and then you could do like shoe storage and drawers underneath and like just go wall to wall on this side. So basically what would happen is we could probably bump this back and then have drawers that pull out.
Right.
That was some quick thinking and
More
sketching.
built-ins. Yeah, I think it's, again, why people hire designers is because you can do a quick napkin sketch. It does not have to be perfect, but it at least can convey to the clients in that moment, here's what it can look like. And I can send you inspiration photos and things
Right.
later. But I think that was helpful for them to be able to understand conceptually what that means. Because when you live with a space like that for so long, they probably aren't imagining that wall bumping back and having drawers built into the wall.
Right.
So the question of the day, we were waiting for your arrival. Do you prefer to keep the tub or no tub? The tub's not a huge necessity even for resale, but some people really like a tub.
If you don't, we'll just make your shower like the Taj Mahal.
That would be nice.
Yeah, the Taj
Yes.
Mahal.
Yes. So I do think that is the question of the day. Do you keep a tub in the owner's bath?
I think in terms of resale, as long as there's a tub somewhere else in the house, it's okay to make a shower a priority. I love taking baths, so I want a tub in my primary suite of things, but honestly, not everybody does. Some people think they're just like sitting in their own dirty water and they don't want to take a bath. Yeah, right. When you think about it that way, it's
Mine just holds my laundry. And I don't have time for a tub.
yeah.
So,
Exactly. So people who don't have time or don't want to soak, they just want like a nice hot shower in and out, like that's the priority. People do get caught up a lot on resale, even if it's, tub, no tub, wallpaper, no wallpaper, color, and I think a lot of those things can be changed, but ultimately if there's a tub somewhere else in the house, I think it's fine.
agreed.
Yeah.
Ditto.
Yeah.
You get morning sun in your tub, above your tub, right? Kind of
We
over
get
that way?
neighbor's house above ours.
Oh, okay.
That roof line though.
Yeah.
Okay. I was trying to figure out even if you did like a little cafe curtain or just something from halfway, but that window is just above.
I mean, that window's just not usable.
No, which sucks because it's huge.
You can still let the top light in.
Right, you could frost just the bottom, like the functional windows, and then obviously the half circle could stay.
With regard to this large window, obviously we have some privacy concerns, but with the intended new use of the space and that potentially being the wet room area, I did have to reach out to a couple of local vendors just to see if our solution was viable and how we could potentially treat that window being in a wet space with moisture and steam. Really poses a bit of a challenge with the palladium arch as well. It'd be a little bit easier if it was just a square window, but those are the challenges that we face.
Yeah, again, trying to knock off all those wish list items.
Right.
It is tricky. I think it's probably doable.
From my research, yes.
Okay.
And we have a few options.
I mean, it makes sense because the tub, you have like that tub moment right now. The tub is in front of the big window, which is
Right.
what everybody, dreams of having. But your clients don't really use the tub. And so it's kind of like just wasted space.
The ceiling height here at the vanities is 100.5.
Okay. Don't they look high?
They look really high to
I'm like, why do they look so high? But 36, I mean, vanities used to be 30, and it was, back in the day when everyone was much smaller. And now we're getting taller and taller, and so 36 is the new height. So this does feel really tall though.
Lots of measuring in a bathroom.
Yeah.
Lots of measuring.
Every nook and cranny. I always think when I'm walking around and clients kind of watch you as you measure, I always like for them not to watch me when I measure because it's like that added pressure of like feeling like someone's watching you while you work. But it is very hard. I think a lot of people don't recognize how much goes into getting like every inch and every measurement because if we change something, that might alter the next wall or that might alter the next opening. Yeah, it takes me a long time to measure.
Usually I get into the habit of doing that if I have to 3D model anything.
I always measure that way. I just
Yeah, they can easily put like a 2x4 and frame out like another, basically like another wall here. I can climb back under there. How did she, there, okay. At least there's a light. So if I know 80, then I can just connect them. Yes, yep.
I also ask clients not to talk because they'll ask me a question and I'll forget the number I just measured.
Yeah.
So it's a very serious process.
It's good to have the separate, like, this is discussion time, you telling me what you need, and then I'm usually like, I try and dismiss them in a nice way to say like, hey, go do what you need to do. Don't let me take up any more of your time. I'll come get you when I'm done.
So we'll have to start really collaborating on the layout and some options. Maybe here's an option A or B, maybe with a tub, without a tub.
I probably would say 2 weeks because I need enough time to discuss with her and go back and forth just to make sure we can really like present 2 solid options for you.
Yeah.
2 solid options.
Or
one really good one.
Or one that really works.
Yeah, and they were happy with that.
See, that's the office. the
No, because
back
it's,
side.
this is that second dormer there.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? Like there's no more space to come. I mean, like if you wanted to
Yeah.
add a whole addition or something, but they don't want to do
No,
that.
we're not doing that. It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Okay.
All right.
That confirms that.
Check.
Yeah. Okay. Do I give this thing back to you?
I'm glad it ends with me like
Yeah.
that. The check, I'm dying. It's like our thing.